Good day for everybody. I would like to present my paper with topic critical success factor in enterprise resource planning system implementation. Here is the point of discussion, starting from introduction, background, research problem, and research question. Then start to literature review, methodology, result, conclusion, and future work. ERP system is a set of integrated software and a centralized database that facilitates an organization to manage by automating and incorporating business process, data sharing throughout the enterprise. ERP system usually involve the entire organization and provide opportunities for access in real time across the enterprise. Usually ERP system lead to the phasing out of legacy system and the replacement of incompatible silos of information system. So ERP facilitates the flow of information system among all the business function. ERP system has many features like an integrated database with real-time distributed function, visibility of all important business process across departments of an organization, and automatic and coherent work, unified and single reporting system to analyze the statistic. Okay. As a background, this study is many companies in various industry have adopted and implemented ERP system to support their company's operations with expectation to improve their business performance, competitive advantages. However, implementing ERP system is significantly challenging. Usually, the challenging related to the complexity, lot of time spent, and big amount of the investment. So, based on past experience found the literature studies, there are still many companies have failure experience in the implementation ERP. Some reasons are due to the lack of the consideration of organizational factors such interdepartmental communication and cooperation, implementation management, and management support. So it means that the implementation of ERP system require effective participation of the whole organization. It is the research problem to be identified and ERP system can support for any or various industries such as manufacturing, in distribution, retail, and services company. So in order to strengthen successful of ERP implementation, there are various critical success factors need to adopt. So it is important to define. So the question here is, what is the twin? So the research questions here relate to that. We have to define what is the critical success factor in ERP implementation. Okay. So the main objective of the study is to identify the critical success factor in ERP implementation through a literature review study that includes previous research. So based on the paper written by many researchers, the authors found a number of reviews about the critical success factor. for successful ERP implementation. However, none of them have fully identified them. For this reason, the authors want to integrate and consolidate the result related to the critical factor in implementation. So this paper can be more complete. This paper can be used as a reference, can be a complete reference, can be used as a reference in the future research, and also can be and also by practitioners. So complete reference. Okay. In the literature review, it is well documented in the literature review that system implementation can bring significant benefit. So the benefit or advantages. So these advantages can be categorized as tangible benefits and also intangible benefits. So previous researchers have also identified the challenge in the ERP implementation. Universities needs a lot of time and patience. However, the challenge, as stated previously, however, in the challenge can be overcome. The business entity can gain benefit from ERP implementation. Thus, it is important to understand the critical success factors of the ERP implementation, starting from selection of technology, pre-implementation, and during the implementation. Then the methodology. This paper was carried out using the study literature review approach. So the process the process of drafting this document involves several. The drafting of this document involves several processes, such as determining the database used, determining the keywords to be used, and determining the criteria for inclusion and exclusion, and extracting data and analyzing the found literature as answer a question. So to answer a question from the research. So the initial step, determine the database of the items that will be used in the study. There are 4 databases used, namely Elsevier Science Direct, Emerald Research, and Taylor Francis Online. And then the next step is to apply the inclusion criteria study result. So all articles from all databases that are relevant to the research goals are included in the study. And the next step is candidates studies, means that articles from studies found are re-evaluated in the abstract section to see whether it matches the research goals. So all suitable research will be included in the candidate studies. And the final phase, all articles are read and checked to see if the result of the work can contribute to answer research question. So if necessary, they will be included in the selection. All articles in the selected study will use the answers. The author also used exclusion criteria to determine the articles that are not in the related to the topics of discussion. And then a result and discussion based on the selection study from previous research. There are various critical factors impact to ERP implementation success. Authors summarize the GFS, the critical factor identified by previous research considered and grouping them. So based on the above accumulated identified critical success factor, so it can be viewed into 3 points. Those are technology, can be categorized in the three points of view. Those are technology, organization and people, and process. Those geography can be divided in 12 categories as shown in the following. So this is the critical success factor in ERP implementation that I composed from the previous results from the previous previous researches. First, in the technology wise, so can be system and the technology, and then also, and the second is in the organization, people. That include vendors and consultant roles, and then also the human resource management, top management roles, and project manager roles, project or team member roles, and user or staff roles, and IT people roles. And in the third point of view is category is related to process. So starting from clear goal and objectives, and then project management, business process reengineering, change and change management. So the conclusion is the result of the study was to examine the critical factors required for the successful of ERP implementation. Yeah. Though many factors were identified in the study, it was discovered that some factors are more frequent than others in this regard. Yeah. And organizations have to be able to identify the factors that will result in a successful implementation to their varying context. So usually each company is unique, and the ability to align this implementation also different. So depend on the nature of the company and the business. So the aim here is to ensure that utilizing whole or a part of this system in doing ERP implementation, the business becomes more efficient and effective in executing their tasks, since ERP system enable the integration of various firms' function, which providing benefit with more competitive and ensure sustainability. So in conclusion, in this ever-changing business environment, it has become vital for companies to look at culture and critical success factor implementation, because it plays a very significant role. Also, the importance of each factor is also congruent to each business. So management must be able to identify which factors influence the individual business situation and needs if they are ensure the successful implementation of ERP system. So, and then the last is the limitation and future research. Future studies could also be conducted to examine the relationship that subsists between ERP implementation and companies' performance, and also the influence of talent management in the success of ERP implementation. In conclusion, since ERP systems are continuous phenomenon, studies that investigate how post-implementation activities like upgrading and maintenance of ERP software affect the ERP project lifecycle could also be very useful to business. Thank you.